From stress to illness. How narcissists impact your mind and body. Living with a narcissist, whether as a child, partner, or even in a close social circle, can lead to profound health and mental issues over time. Narcissistic relationships are emotionally draining, and the stress they generate can take a significant toll on both the mind and body. Let's explore how this dynamic manifests in various health conditions. Chronic stress and anxiety. Narcissists often create environments of constant tension, unpredictability, and emotional invalidation. For children, growing up with a narcissistic parent can feel like walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid criticism or punishment. In marriages, the narcissist's manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional neglect perpetuate this dynamic. Prolonged exposure to this stress activates the body's fight or flight response, which can lead to chronic anxiety. This may manifest as racing thoughts, sleep disturbances, difficulty concentrating, and a pervasive sense of dread. Over time, the brain can become wired for hypervigilance, leaving you feeling on edge even in calm situations. Depression and emotional numbness. The constant invalidation and blame shifting in a narcissistic relationship can lead to feelings of worthlessness and hopelessness. Victims often internalize the narcissist's criticisms, believing they are at fault for the dysfunction in the relationship. This emotional burden can spiral into clinical depression, characterized by low energy, a lack of interest in activities, and even suicidal ideation in extreme cases. Some individuals may develop emotional numbness as a coping mechanism, detaching from their own feelings to survive the relationship. Skin conditions, psoriasis and eczema. Emotional stress doesn't just affect the mind, it has a direct impact on the body as well. Skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema are common among individuals exposed to chronic stress. Stress triggers an inflammatory response in the body, which can exacerbate or even initiate these skin conditions. The itching, redness, and discomfort can further reduce self-esteem, especially if the narcissist criticizes or mocks the visible symptoms, deepening the cycle of stress. Weight gain and disordered eating. Living with a narcissist can lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms, including overeating or disordered eating. Many individuals turn to food for comfort in response to the narcissist's constant criticism or as a way to regain a sense of control in their lives. Additionally, the stress hormone cortisol, elevated in toxic relationships, contributes to abdominal fat storage and weight gain. For some, the pressure to meet the narcissist's impossible standards may lead to binge eating or restrictive dieting, further disrupting their relationship with food and their bodies. Autoimmune disorders and chronic fatigue. The prolonged stress and emotional trauma associated with narcissistic abuse can weaken the immune system, making the body more susceptible to autoimmune conditions such as lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and fibromyalgia. Chronic fatigue syndrome is another common result, leaving individuals feeling exhausted despite adequate rest. This is due to the body being in a prolonged state of heightened stress, which disrupts normal immune function and leads to inflammation throughout the body. Physical symptoms of anxiety and stress. Victims often experience physical symptoms of anxiety such as heart palpitations, tension headaches, muscle pain or stiffness, digestive issues, e.g. IBS or nausea. These symptoms are the body's way of manifesting the emotional toll of living with constant manipulation and emotional abuse. Over time, they can escalate into more serious health concerns, such as high blood pressure or cardiovascular disease. PTSD or complex PTSD, CPTSD. Long-term exposure to narcissistic abuse often leads to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, or complex PTSD, CPTSD. Symptoms include intrusive memories, flashbacks, emotional triggers, and a pervasive sense of fear or hypervigilance. CPTSD in particular can develop in cases of ongoing abuse, such as growing up with a narcissistic parent or being in a long-term narcissistic marriage. It may also include feelings of shame, difficulty trusting others, and emotional dysregulation. Loss of identity and self-esteem. Narcissists thrive on diminishing their victim's sense of self-worth. Over time, this can lead to a complete loss of identity, where the victim struggles to separate their own desires and values from the narcissist's expectations. This erosion of self-esteem often results in difficulty making decisions, fear of failure or rejection, a strong tendency toward people-pleasing behavior, healing and recovery. Recognizing the impact of narcissistic abuse is the first step toward healing. Like, share, and subscribe for more.